Hey, what's going on, my nerds and collectors alike? We are continuing the trend on the Captain America Build-A-Wing Disney Plus wave. Today we are taking a look at Wanda, the Scarlet Witch from WandaVision. Getting her in a little bit closer here. You can already see the new face sculpt looking very nice. We do get some magic effect pieces for the hands there. Get a couple of magic effect pieces already on her arms. We got her Build-A-Wing piece. Down here we have the WandaVision logo, Scarlet Witch, which is finally her official title. She has officially been dubbed the Scarlet Witch in the MCU. You have your Disney Plus pop-up there. On the bottom of the box, you've got your barcodes, warnings, legalese, all that fun stuff. On the side of the box there, we have a nice image of Wanda in her new Scarlet Witch outfit, which is the exact same on the other side. On the top of the box here, we have a nice little embossment of the Scarlet Witch logo. As you can see, my figure actually has a little bit of a red dot there on the shoulder, so hopefully we'll be able to scrape that off. On the back of the box here, you can see the lineup of figures and a larger picture of Wanda from the side, and it says, Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff's abilities of telekinesis, energy manipulation, and neuroelectric interfacing allow her to read thoughts and give her targets waking nightmares. Very spooky. Being that she is a part of the Build-A-Wing wave, you can see that Scarlet Witch is number 1 in the wave. The figures you will need to complete the Build-A-Wings are, of course, Scarlet Witch, the Vision, Loki, the Winter Soldier, U.S. Agent, Baron Zemo, and Captain America. Down here you've got your warnings, small parts, not for children under 3 years. Of course it's from Marvel. So let's go ahead and get Wanda open and see what she's about. Alright, so here we are with Scarlet Witch. I'm going to go ahead and right off the bat say that so far this is my favorite figure of the wave. I think that she has been done a great justice for her MCU look. Her previous figures were alright, but never this quality. Getting into a little bit of detail here, and you can see that she's got her magic hands with her little swirly effects. So we'll take those off for now. Get her all straightened out here. I'm going to go ahead and leave the pink effects on just for a moment. Taking a close look here at her head sculpt, you can see she has her Scarlet Witch headdress, and her face looks a lot more like Elizabeth Olsen this time around. Also, I did end up being able to get rid of that red mark a little bit. So her shoulder just has a little tiny bit of pink on there now. So taking a look here, she even has the little freckle picked out on her face. She's got a little bit of lipstick on. Looks fantastic. I love it. We get the nice flowing hair sculpt here. And all the details on her costume. You've got the nice different shades of red, picking out different details of the costume there. Got the sleeves going down with the nice red wraps, all the way down to her boots. The only thing is, yeah, this costume is actually supposed to be darker. This should be more of a maroon, but honestly, I like the red of it. These little chevron-shaped pieces here on her boots are supposed to be silver. That is one detail they did miss, but that's alright. It happens. Her boots go all the way down. Straighten up her ankles there for you. And the red goes all the way down with them. The paint for mine did miss ever so slightly on this boot, but it's not too noticeable. Even on the back here, we've got paint wrapping around. Even on the back there, you can see her necklace has paint to it. All in all, very detailed, matches my idea of what Wanda looked like in the show for her Scarlet Witch look, and definitely looks great. So getting into articulation here, I'm going to go ahead and take off her head just for a demonstration. So Wanda does have a double neck joint here. So there is a dumbbell joint in her head that attaches to the neck. And then at the base of her neck, there is also another ball joint. So that's very nice to see that we're starting to get the double dumbbell style joints here. Sadly, due to her hair, she's not going to be able to look up very much still, but she can look down. If you shift her back, she can still look up ever so slightly. We do get some tilt. But like I said, it's her hair that really gets in the way with that. But we do get a nice bit of clearance this time. So unlike last time, Wanda can rotate her head. Her arms go up a little bit past 90. If you move her head, they do rotate 360. She has a hinge at the elbow that goes up past 90, which is always nice. And there is also a swivel at the elbow. Now, with the magic hands on mine, I believe this is actually a factory error, but I'm not too bothered by it. So, on this hand, we have the in and out hinge. But if I remove this hand and you look, you can actually see that it is molded like it should be going vertically, so up and down, right? If you look at her regular hand here, her costumed hand without the powers, the hinge moves the exact way that the magic hand is supposed to. So the magic effect hand is supposed to. So this hinges up and down. I believe there was some kind of factory error because I know that these hands are actually supposed to be the exact same, just in pink. But I do not mind the variation. There is no issue with the hinge. It moves just fine without a problem. So it's just a little bit of variation for the articulation for me, and I'm not bothered by it at all. And the same thing on this side. So with this magic hand, you can see that it is molded like it should be going in and out, but this one actually goes up and down. And then if you remove that hand and we use her costumed hand, it goes in and out. So like I said, some kind of factory issue there. I'm not too bothered by it because both hinges work just fine, so it doesn't have any negative effect to me. We'll go ahead and take a look at her glove here because the detail on her wrist actually matches to the glove. If that will focus there. Sorry guys, I was trying to focus on her face. There we go. So you can see the detail on her glove matches all the way up. She does have a diaphragm joint, so she can crunch forward a little bit. Crunches back actually a decent amount. Do be aware if you crunch her back a little too much, you do get a little bit of a gap in there, and you can actually see the dumbbell joint inside, but that's alright. She does get side to side, so that's always a plus, and that's also going to give you your swivel. Her skirt piece here is kind of a thick, like softer plastic, so it does get in the way a little bit, but it does also have give. So Wanda can kick forward 90 degrees. She can kick out about 45, and the skirt does try to push that down just a little bit. Kicking back, obviously the skirt's going to get in the way, so you don't really get a lot of kickback, but I feel like if the skirt wasn't there, you would get a little bit. She gets a thigh swivel, as well as double jointed knees, which do be aware that these knees are kind of gummy, but they do still work just fine. So double jointed knees, and just for visual purposes, that's actually how far they kick up. And she also has ankle articulation, so her ankle moves down that far. Her ankle actually moves up all the way. So if you want Wanda to break her ankle, you can. And she has ankle pivot, which actually kind of acts more like an ankle swivel, unless you use that hinge in tandem with it. So that's interesting. And of course, getting into her accessories here. So Wanda does come with her magic effect pieces that we've seen a couple of times now. So we get 2 of these, and they are different molded, of course. We got the 2 different molds for them. And they just slip over her arms. And the previous Scarlet Witch effects that we got, here is the Scarlet Witch effects from the Wanda and Vision 2 pack from Infinity War. So as you can see, compared to these bright pink ones, this is actually more of an orangish color. I do think I like the pink ones more. And as you've already seen, we do get alternate hands, which are the same sculpt as the regular hands, but as I said, mine have the hinges that are slightly different, so they are molded to hinge one way, and they're supposed to hinge the one way, but they hinge the other way, which is perfectly fine with me. And if you plug those on, they do match the color of her effect pieces very well. And one more comparison here that I almost forgot about. We do have the comic book Scarlet Witch magic effect pieces here. As you can see, these ones actually have a little bit of glitter inside of them and are a more hot pink compared to the kind of reddish pink of these ones. So there's also those. And speaking of the comic book Scarlet Witch, here is Wanda from WandaVision compared to the comic book Scarlet Witch. So her comic counterpart there. As well as the Scarlet Witch from Infinity War and Endgame, respectively. So there's those are. Comic book Scarlet Witch obviously standing a little bit taller, but also has her headdress, just like new Wanda does. Old Wanda standing a little bit taller too, but she also has the heeled boots, whereas this Wanda seems to be wearing more flat boots. So there's those are. The heads, you cannot swap the head from the Infinity War Wanda to this body, simply because the peg for this head is much smaller than the peg for this one. Although I have seen swaps of this Wanda's head on this body, which do look pretty nice. So if you do have comic book Wanda and you're wanting to put her on this body, I have seen that you can go ahead and do that. Here we have Wanda with Vision, as well as the White Vision, who does actually try to kill her, which is, you know, lovely. Definitely not rude at all to try to crush Wanda's head there. Oh, did knock her over. That's my bad, I apologize. So there are Wanda and Vision from the new TV series. Final opinions on this figure are basically 10 out of 10. I love this figure. I think they did a great job with her. The slight inaccuracies I can live with. I think the articulation is great. She could have maybe benefited from a butterfly joint, but honestly, there's the cutout that's big enough for that, so that doesn't really bother me at all. As you can see, her hands go forward just fine. The only thing I could think of is maybe an alternate head sculpt, or if they wanted to include her cloak from the ending of WandaVision, that would have been pretty cool. Maybe the Darkhold, that would have been nice to see. But so far, this is my favorite figure of the wave, and I definitely do recommend. And before I head out here, I just want to say that this channel and all of its content are not for the ages of 13 years or younger. This channel is not for minors. I'm sorry. Has to be said. Overall, like the figure a lot. Definitely worth a pickup. I would try to get her as quickly as you can because she's starting to sell out everywhere. But, yeah. Like her a lot. Definitely fantastic. Great addition to the collection. Stay safe, everybody.